Yes, sir.
Well,
Bobby.
great. We are going to just dive right into questions, my man. So we will start with Matt Charbonneau.
Hey, Aaron, I'm curious how these last couple of days have been, and how much how much the little bit of a break helps. Maybe not even so much physically, but just considering the way that last couple of weeks went, just maybe getting a chance to get away for a day, let your mind kind of deflate a little bit. Was it good to kind of have that break a little?
I didn't spend too much time, letting it deflate. We got a lot in hand. We played good the past couple weeks, but it's easy. We can do. I'll deflate at the end of the season when everything's over. Hopefully, with a couple championships and some goals achieved. But it's physically, it's good to get off your feet for a little bit, I guess.
So you feel like what these last few weeks have done, have kind of prepared you guys a little bit for what could be a long grind, especially in a tournament sort of setting?
Absolutely, it's prepared us to understand what that tournament atmosphere is going to be like. A lot of teams are going to be in the same city, and the games are going to be back to back to back, and the small amount of time we have for preparation for games has been pivotal for our next movement going forward. But it shows that we can do it. We can compete at a high level with short preparation time.
Thank you.
Aaron, I know that Sunday you talked about being able to go home, and I wondered if you can go back to Christmas and how excited you were for your parents to be there and then them not coming, and then the Indiana game, and then on Sunday seeing them. I guess what changes when you have them around, and I guess what was that December point like for you?
I always play good. I feel like in front of my dad because he's just closer, that much closer to chewing me out. Izzo's right there, and then you kind of see him, or he'll make his voice known for sure. But just to have him there and to be in his presence, man, he's done countless amount of things for me and my brother in my life, and to go out there and just play a game, with him being there, something that he's put me in a position to do when I was little. That's something that he loves to see me do, and I love to be out there and not only play for myself but for my family as well.
You going back there to Indy in particular, do you think about that first game, that first college game at all, and
Yeah.
how do you try and maybe take it to the next step and continue what you've been doing?
That first game that when we played Kansas in Indy, it was fun. It was my first college game. I think I played like 16 minutes. Watching my minutes, I did okay. I didn't do as bad as I thought it was as my first game as a freshman. But I remember my parents being there. I actually remember people being at the game. It's been a while since I saw that. So that was cool. But I just can't wait to go see my parents.
We'll go next to Lindsey Huddleston.
Hey, Aaron, keeping with the emotional theme, is it fair to say that a few games ago that anxiety was an emotion, and now there's a different emotion because you guys have had the success that you expected to have?
Um, I don't know about anxiety, but just some unsureness of things and how things were gonna go. But just the Michigan State way of just continuing to keep things the same, and including the preparation and how we approach things, that'll never change whether we have lost every game or win every game. And that's what's got us to this point now, and just being consistent with that. And now that we won some games and competed with other teams, it just shows that we belong.
Great. A real quick follow up. You've had an amazing amount of big games. Talk about Rocket and the big game he had, and how that probably is going to help him in his development and moving to the next level, especially when you look at your experiences here.
Yeah, I mean it's. I had sporadic moments last year as well. While I would be here and be good in some games, and some games I wouldn't be as good. And it's a process for everybody. As a sophomore, I feel like you want it all so fast, and things just don't click just the way you envision them in the summer coming up to that moment. And I just try to tell them just to stay level headed. You're gonna have ups and downs, but you're growing. Your every moment, whether it's your best game or your worst game, you're seeing what you need to do, what not to do. But emotionally and mentally, you're seeing where you're at and where you can go.
Great. Thank you.
We'll go next to Olivia from WISH TV in Indianapolis. She appears to be on the phone. We will go to Graham Couch.
Yeah, Aaron, I'm wondering why Maryland is so difficult. You guys have seemed to have gotten pretty good playing against teams with big men, and then you face one that doesn't play through a big like other teams do. What are the difficulties Maryland presents, and why are they a difficult matchup?
Because they're versatile. You know, so many guys can guard so many different positions. And they have big men who can shoot and step out and put the ball on the floor. And not only do we have to be ready for it, but we have to understand how to attack their defense. And they really compete. You know, they play hard. They have a good motion offense and they have a good feel for each other. You know, they're a connected team. And when they're going, especially when they're shooting the ball well.
Go next to Ian Kress.
Aaron, what kind of role is Foster going to play for you guys? It seems like recently, since he's been on the bench, maybe being as a coach, how has he really helped you guys so far, and how is he going to help you going forward into the tournament this week?
It's Coach Lawyer for sure, man. He's a guy that knows and understands the game at a very, very high level. Honestly, I have a ton of respect for him in that aspect, and you know, it's there's no misbeats with him. You know, he's always around, even with the cast on his shoulder. I know he's going to be there all the time with us, and even in the off the court as well in those huddles, he's going to speak up and be the captain that he still is.
Have you personally learned anything from him over the last?
Yeah,
couple weeks?
just different aspects of the game. You know, just talking about it, what he sees from the bench in certain situations and certain times in the game. You know, how I could have did something different. Foster's a very smart person on and off the court. You know, we have a lot of those players. Jack is like that as well. And just to be able to pick their brains a little bit and what they see. You know, it's easy to talk about what I see on the court because maybe I'm out there more than Jack and Foster now. But, you know, what they see on the bench, you know, it's a different aspect.
Thanks.
And then we'll go back to Olivia Ray from WISH TV in Indianapolis.
Aaron, I know a lot of people are going to be excited to hear Michigan State called specifically because of you. If that moment comes on Sunday, what images of Indianapolis, of your childhood basketball career are going to flash in front of you if you're able to experience that moment?
Lucas Oil probably is one of the only gyms I haven't played in Indiana. You know, I feel like in Indiana I've been to every gym, and that's what we're known for, the biggest high schools. I've played in front of, you know, a lot of people in high school, almost just as much as college, honestly, just because of the weight, you know, basketball holds there. So not just one thing, but it's just a different type of air, you know, being in Indianapolis and playing down there. It just feels different.
I get a quick, I'm coming home, and we won't jinx it. We'll just call this for the Big Ten tourney.
I'm coming home. I can't wait to come home. I'm really excited, honestly. I really am. Should be fun.
Thank you so much.
Aaron, that's all we have for you. Thank you so much.
All right, man. Thank you, guys.
And,